Hey everybody, this is Ben. I'm doing a quick review video for my Grant & Gavin Hawk Deadlock out the front knife. Where is that thing? Oh, here it is. It's in my pocket. Because I've been using it, carrying it for about the last week. That's right, I know it's a $1,000 knife. What am I doing carrying and using it? Well, believe it or not, this is my new EDC. I personally don't buy knives that I'm not going to use, and that's just it. So I don't care what it costs. I've been waiting for a knife like this to come out for probably about 20 years, honestly, ever since I first got bit by the knife bug, so to speak, when I was in high school. Went to my first local gun and knife show in the area, and saw my first out the front autos from people like Microtech and Dalton. Ever since then, I don't know, I've owned multiple knives over the years. Halo variations, knives from Benchmade. I always come back though to the double actions, and surprisingly, I've honestly been surprised that it's taken so long for somebody to come out with a knife like this, the Deadlock. I mean, over the years, I've put up with knives like these. This is a pretty faithful clone or replica of, I think it's a Microtech Combat Trudon. Double action out the front. And, you know, this has been pretty much what you've been used to if you've been around double actions. Basically different variations of this knife. And, you know, if the old rule of thumb or train of thought, whatever you want to call it, with double action out the fronts especially, is they need blade play to some degree, so to speak, for them to function properly. You know, there's always a little bit of side-to-side wiggle, maybe some top to bottom. And on some knives, I don't know if it's like this, I don't recall with Microtech, the last one I owned, if it had forward and back play, if you pull on the blade like this. But again, that's been pretty much the norm for the last 20 plus years if you've been around double action out the fronts. Yeah, then along comes Grant & Gavin Hawk with their Deadlock, and we have literally zero blade play. No side to side, no top to bottom, no in and out. I can't make this thing wiggle, period. And it functions flawlessly. I've carried it for, again, about a week. Been using it for pretty much light cutting tasks, and I love it. Yes, it was a little over $1,000 with the options that I got, which is a pretty basic package. I'm a pretty simple-minded guy when it comes to knives. I don't like a bunch of bells and whistles, so I went with the, it's on the side of the knife, 204P blade steel, and I think this is a stone-washed finish, maybe bead blasted. Pretty sure it's stone-washed. Titanium switch, titanium pocket clip, titanium frame, and the carbon fiber scales. Man, that thing is solid when it opens and closes. No spring, like with this knife. I don't know if you can hear that spring vibrating when I open and close it. Yeah, everything about this knife is spot on. Awesome fit and finish. As you've probably seen in other videos, if you've watched any about this knife so far, it's got Deadlock, 204P blade steel, if that's what you got. G&G Hawk on this side, and then on the other side of the frame, Model A, the patent number, on the blade steel. Oh, Deadlock is what it said over here, 2017 G&G Hawk. Anyway, I'm not a professional video maker, not going to pretend to be. I'm going to fumble things a little bit, and I don't care. Of course, they've got their claw logo over here. I guess that's a hawk paw or claw, whatever you want to call it. I love the the smooth finish on the carbon fiber scales. And speaking of the scales, these are not your typical flimsy, I don't know, too thin scale, however you want to put that. These are actually some pretty nice beefy scales. If I had to guess, they're over 1/8 of an inch thick, as is the frame itself. Not gonna break this one open like I'd planned to originally. Gavin actually beat me to that. If you look for Deadlock OTF on YouTube, you're gonna see his video where he took one with the brass frame, opened it up, and showed you all the intricate details inside the knife. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that such a mechanical work of art that I feel that this knife is, that's the best way I know how to put it, is so simple internally. There really are fewer parts than I thought there would be, and yeah, so it's an awesome knife. What came along with it in the box, it was in a nice little velvet drawstring pouch, which I had no use for. I threw that away. But you got a little mini Ziploc bag here with a vanity sticker on it. Hawk knife designs. A couple tools. Got a T6 sized Torx wrench, and then I believe this is a T6 or whatever sized. I guess they're not T when it comes to hex keys. I guess it's just a hex key. So a knife maker, a custom knife maker that gives you tools to open up and maintain your knife. He actually encourages you, hey, if you need to open your knife up, go ahead and do it. It's actually pretty simple. You just remove these two screws first with the Torx wrench, and then the hex screws, 1, 2, and through the pocket clip hole here, there's a third one. Remove those, this handle scale comes off, the I think it's called the stop plate, which is under this scale, wedges off, and then you remove the blade, and you can get to any and everything you need to clean inside this knife. In my opinion, I don't anticipate ever needing to open this knife up for maintenance, even though I'm making it my EDC and it may get some pocket fuzz in there once in a while. If compressed air, a can of compressed air won't blow it out, still doesn't seem to function properly, then I might crack it open. I have popped it open just to satisfy my own curiosity and then put it back together, and it was a piece of cake. But again, I don't anticipate needing to do that, maybe more than once a year or every couple years. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble. So also along with the knife in this little baggie, I got some extra parts, extra little ball bearing, which is part of the locking mechanism inside the blade, as well as what Grant calls E-clips. These, one of these holds the pin in the blade. So if you were to really do a detailed takedown on the knife and lost one of these parts, you've got spares. So that's awesome. A high-end knife maker that doesn't care if you take his knife apart, actually shows you how to do it and put it back together and gives you extra parts and tools. That's awesome. And you don't have to worry about your warranty. I mean, these guys are always here for you. If something goes wrong with the knife at any point in time, send it to them. No hassle. They send it back, fix it. Piece of cake. I love that. It's sharp. Still, even after a week's worth of use, there's some hair there for my arm. Little paper test. I didn't know it was going to do that cleanly. I didn't pre-do that ahead of time. I swear. Oh, look at this. I've got a box. Sweetwater IPA. Shameless plug. One of my favorite beer companies. Beer makers. Little cardboard cutting. How far can I do this? How many pieces can I cut? I know it's a $1,000 knife. What the hell's he doing? Ah! Anybody cringing yet? It's a few tabs. Oh, let's get this one too. Why not? Oh, look at that sharp knife, man. By the way, speaking of extra parts, I went ahead and, just because I'm a mechanically minded type of guy, I know that the best design things, you know, best intentions, blah, 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 it's still a mechanical device, and I know at some point in time, there's a chance the springs might. There are 2 springs in the knife, by the way, that actuate the blade. You know, they might wear out. It's just a fact of life. I plan to keep this my EDC for years to come. I've been waiting for a knife like this for half my life, like I said earlier in the video. And I want to be prepared just in case. So for 20 bucks, Grant's like, or Gavin said, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll send you an extra set of springs. I mean, how cool is that? You can't beat that. Oh, one more cut here, and then... Oh, look at this. I've got a stack of cardboard. What could I do with that? Oh, he's crazy. Oh my god, no, not a stab test. Oh, he did a stab test with his deadlock out the front. Look at that. Oh, let's kill that shit. Yeah. Oh, the blade tip is through the cardboard and it's okay. Awesome. The block held up. It didn't fail. Let's get that out of there. Yeah, the blade's okay. Oh, shoo. Thank goodness. I didn't think it would hurt it. Yeah, nothing wrong with the tip. Let me see. Nope, it looks fine. Does it still work? Can I still retract it with just my finger? Oh, thank goodness. Whew. Oh, one more little thing. I had a random thought the other day after I'd had this knife for a few days. Speaking of the locking mechanism, well, what if the blade were to hit something on the way out and it didn't go into full lockup? Would it affect how tight the lockup was? Well, let's see. Okay, the blade hit something on the way out, namely some cardboard. Let's see what happens if I just pull the blade into position. Okay, I think it's there. Yeah, it's locked up. And still zero blade play. Cool. Does it still work okay? Yep. Even after that stab test, no wiggle at all. Fucking awesome, right? Pardon the French. Yeah, so deadlock out the front. User knife, not a safe queen. I am loving it. And by the way, I plan to do video updates every once in a while. Keep everybody out there who may have seen this video up to date on my knife, how it's doing. Probably about I don't know, 6 months to a year down the road, I'll give an update. Tell you how I feel about the knife. Is it still locking up rock solid like it did when it was just a BB? And yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you got a little entertainment, a little information out of that video despite my rambling, and I will see y'all later.